Welcome to the Heavy Repulsor Truck assembly video. Have all of our parts laid out, and we're going to go ahead and get started on these engine sections. Just sanding the contact points, putting on some super glue. I do not like this glue, by the way. And then attaching. Now there's going to be a little bit of a fun here where I'm going to leave my fingers connected. Left this in to remind you, don't do that, because it makes for an annoying time trying to get everything lined up. But there's a nice flat surface on the back side of those engines. You can, once they're glued, you can put them down on something flat and align them, and then let them dry. Of course, make sure your excess glue on the seams is cleaned up, both for like painting, but also for if you do lay it down on something flat, it won't stick. Okay, both the engines are done. Now we're going to do the easy part. Identify your open lock slots, make sure they're clear of any stringing or plastic or anything like that. And then put your clips in, cockpit to the front section here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put, I don't necessarily use all these, kind of overbuilt this to be honest, but I believe I am going to put at a minimum 4 and then connect. Now you can glue this together if you want to. I kind of put that in because it's a huge piece and you may want to break it down later. Just all depends. Now we've got the main body done. You can go ahead and add those engine sections to the side. This first time you see I screwed that up and I tried to glue them in. I forgot that these are actually push fit, so you should not need to glue them in. You can if you want to, of course, but it's pretty easy to just push fit those in on both sides. And once I get done push fitting these in, I'm going to grab the first side, first engine if you will, assembled engine, and then go ahead and install it. This is much easier if you let those engines dry. I have off camera for a little bit and just checking the orientation here to make sure those pins actually line up into the slots. They only go on one side, so get it on there. It should go on there nice and snug right up against the frame. Now I have a big piece of filament that I use to attach the engine nacelles. I had to carve out the back side. There was a little bit of printer stuff left over there from printing, just to make sure those holes are open. And I'm going to go ahead and slot it in there and slide the filament in from the rear. Slide it in nice. Do a wiggle check, make sure you're good, and grab your flush cutters and trim it. Just flush right here. Do your test. Okay, good. And then you're just gonna wash, rinse, and repeat. Trim this back side here, and then what we'll do is we'll flip it over. Okay, gonna go ahead and mount that other side. Looks like we're good to go. And then we're going to repeat the same process, right? One engine nacelle at a time, load the filament from the rear, slide it forward, trim it, do the next one. The whole reason this whole thing is like this is to give those engines a floating repulsor-like effect. Just something different, you know, like it's not the typical stuff. I like the things to be a little mechanical in nature, add a little something different. If I could make this truck hover some way, I would, because it'd be just plain cool and add something to a wargaming board, but maybe in the future technology catches up with me. Then okay, last thing is just glue the lid on there. And now I'm just gonna put a couple minis out so you can see the scale. These are 34 mil minis, some crates from our cargo pallets, just to show you this is a big son of a gun. Thanks for checking out the Heavy Repulsor.